Presidential Executive Order of May 1st, 2012, promoting international regulatory cooperation. On May 1st, 2012, our great patriarch and glorious leader, Barack Obama, signed a new executive order. This new executive order was signed in the auspices promoting international regulatory cooperation. This order is supposed to standardize regulations between the United States and its trading partners. It is of my opinion that the standardization of regulations for international trade will be used to remove our sovereignty and civil rights. The European community was thrust into the European Union by international trade agreements. They never voted or were given a choice as to their participation. Literally, overnight the European nations were forced into new laws, as well as regulations and law enforcement they had never agreed to. The new superstate immediately began restricting production and trade through new international regulations and ignored national sovereignty as it did so. It is of my opinion the same tactics are being used against the United States, just as the trade agreements were first created as a precursor to the European Union. This executive order, and others like it, are being used to remove U.S. sovereignty and civil liberties. Once international agreements are signed into law without public support through executive order, international trade regulations and laws will be forced upon the U.S. population and be enforceable by international law and foreign entities. Once the laws and agreements have been standardized and forced upon the U.S. under different international regulations, foreign peacekeepers will be used to enforce them. But you say it could never happen here. Ponder this. Russian special forces will for the first time ever train on American soil. The strange part is that these Russian troops will be training our special forces equipment. They'll be training in anti-terrorism tactics. We now have NDAA, or the National Defense Authorization Act, which allows for the indefinite detention of everyone, including U.S. citizens, without trial. House Resolution 347, the so-called trespass law. This allows for arrest of anyone protesting or speaking out. The Executive Order National Defense Resource Preparedness Act of March 16, 2012. This executive order allows for the confiscation of all private and public property by the government without cause. Combine all of this with the DHS buying millions of rounds, with NDAA in sections 1021 and 1022, it does not look good for freedom.